Shabbat Shalom, Bonnie and Ed.
Carol, welcome.
Shabbat Shalom.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Now we got an echo.
That's right.
You have a good echo.
I plead the
It's
fifth.
fitting. It feels kind of otherworldly, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
So,
Like we're gonna take off.
Yeah, with a death for the
Wow.
and Judy Abelman, hello.
Not the box. Where is it?
Shabbat Shalom.
And
And
Shabbat
Deborah
Shalom,
is
everyone.
there.
Mhm.
Shabbat Shalom, Deborah, on your iPhone. And Susan, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Carol Greer, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Renee and everyone, and Esther and everyone,
Carol.
and Rabbi Tell.
So who else do we have here? Abby and Marcia, Shabbat Shalom. Gail, hi. Shabbat Shalom.
Gail Brownell.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Gail.
You want a kiss?
I haven't.
Okay.
Yes,
Jason,
some people did, some didn't unmute, so we won't hear them.
Happy Friday night. Shalom, everyone.
hi,
Shabbat
Gail.
Shalom.
Good to see you.
Nice to see all of you.
Nice to see
Nice to
You
see you.
too. Nice to see you too.
Oh, there's Ron. Hi, Ron. Shabbat Shalom, Ron.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi,
I just, hi, everybody.
Oh, there's Sharon. Shabbat
Hi.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Sharon.
I just want to say that we've been saying hello to everybody, but we were muted. Does it count?
Counts.
Very
counts.
Why you're so unfriendly.
It counts 'cause we can read lips, Susan.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
good. Body language. Wave.
We wave.
That's
Shabbat
right.
Shalom, Joyce Schechter. Hello.
Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Hi,
Shalom.
Hi,
Shabbat
Joyce.
Shalom, Lindsay.
Good to see you, everybody.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Susan Itkin, your hair looks beautiful.
Thanks so much.
It looks
Wow.
I wore my hair this way 40 years ago.
Right.
So who am I missing?
We're all going in a
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah, and you're short. I love your hair short.
Mine was short when my Jonathan Silvio was born 43 years ago.
Yeah,
48 years ago.
we've gone
the whole
reversed.
circle.
You go full
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah, we have gone full circle.
Wow.
So the Sherman family, right? Shabbat Shalom. And Ellie, Shabbat Shalom. Who else do we have here?
Marilyn
Lindsay
Rosen,
Hall,
Shabbat Shalom.
Grace, Shabbat Shalom. So I don't know,
She's a-
and Wolkoff's iPad, but Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Ron and Karen.
Hi, Mrs. Guia.
Shabbat
It
Shalom.
looks like how you.
You better be
you're right.
careful. You're gonna get in trouble with your granddaughter.
I get in trouble any day.
What's
Oh,
new?
Saul. Shabbat Shalom. Now I recognize you. Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you. Saul.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I will relieve Marilyn of her stellar duties for the time being and thank her in advance for being greeter extraordinaire. It is no easy feat on Zoom to greet everybody, but as always, we're so happy to see you. I'm happy to be back. I was away last week and Canterbury is away this week. Both of us with kids in the school district, and this is the end of a school break. So we did some vacation sharing. I guess I think I got the better end of this deal, this particular break. So we are so thankful that Leah Sherman is joining us this evening, will help us lift our voices and our spirits in song as she does each time she joins us in the school and with us in services and throughout the community, and is just off of Song Leader Boot Camp, which some of our kids, also some of our teens participated in. So we're going to hear some maybe some newish melodies tonight, just a couple. Maybe they'll be familiar to you, but we hope that they will really invigorate you and give you a new sense of Shabbat in a way that is so needed as we bring together so many different threads. We have Shabbat with us. We have this beautiful month when we are observing Jewish Disability Awareness, Accessibility, and Inclusion Month. This is also the time that we observe Black History Month. So many different pieces that are woven together, let alone being, reaching year one of a global pandemic. So many different threads to bring together, but all of them we hope will organically find a resting spot as we are intended to do on Shabbat. And so I thought, as we look at each of those pieces, that I would open just with a couple of quotes from Martin Luther King Jr., who speaks about, we know about race relations so profoundly, but also about accessibility and inclusion and justice. And he wrote, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And this is what Shabbat in part allows us to do, is to take a step back, to be able to recharge, to refocus, to discern better what we want to be doing. He also wrote, we may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat. How true is that? How much do we know that we have come from different places? We are perhaps on these same waters together and need to do our work together. And finally, that the time is always right to do what is right. And so that helps give shape, I hope, to this evening as we gather, we pray, we contemplate, and we ready ourselves for both rest and renewal, and then the action that comes out of this time of pause for us to refresh and to know what better we can do together. So I will invite you to sing with us, to be with us, to be in contemplative silence at the right times with us as well, and to find your moment of Shabbat Menucha, of Shabbat rest and reflection. We'll invite you, please, to join us in song as we continue with the singing of Hine Matovu Manaim, how good it is and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together. Join me together as we continue with our prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in our lives. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I and we need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We continue now as we kindle the Shabbat lights. So please, if you have your candles in front of you, join me as we say, these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them. So may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. We'll continue now with the bracha. Leah, I hope you will sing with us, raise our voices as we kindle our lights, bring light and warmth and goodness into every corner.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We'll invite you please to join us as we turn to Kiddush, as we sanctify and are thankful for the holiness of this day, and invite you please in body or in spirit to rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho v'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen and l'chaim. Please be seated as we continue with the singing of Ma Yafeh Hayom. How beautiful this day is.
Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai, raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song, for Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings. Continue now as we celebrate the coming together of all those different pieces that we spoke about at the beginning, the coming together of the Sabbath partners, the bride and the groom, the partners in making things whole, as we turn to the words of Lecha Dodi.
Shamor v'zachor אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה. לה 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 לך דודי, לה 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 לקראת כלה, לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקום הברכה, בראש מקדם משוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תהילה. לה 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 לך דודי, לה 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 לקראת כלה, לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי בעורף קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שתדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לה 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 לך דודי, לה 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 לקראת כלה, לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בלק, גם בשמחה וצהלה, טוב אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לה 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 לך דודי, לה 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 לקראת כלה, לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה.
And please be seated. We say that entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
Sorry, just putting my guitar down. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חיותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך, לעולמא ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ואמרו Amen.
We continue now. We ask you please to join us in body or in spirit and rise for our call to worship the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night, and as heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. In love, you offered your people Israel your Torah and mitzvot. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe that we were taught what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. Baruch atah Adonai haporez sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed one, you spread over us a canopy of peace, a shelter of shalom over all Israel, your people, and over Jerusalem. We continue now as we turn to the joy of Shabbat, the oneg. This is where we get our term oneg Shabbat, the celebration, that deep hearted, full-bodied joy that we aspire to each and every one of our Shabbatot, and we continue with the singing of the Shamur.
אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. One more time. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We harness that joy, that energy, and we look at this past week. And I say this often, but I mean it always. We try to focus in on one or two moments of gratitude. this past week. And that is what gives shape to our prayers. We think of those who came before us, the things that give shape to our deepest sense of thankfulness, even in these wonky times and these fragile times, those small moments, those medium moments, those unexpected, delightful moments for which we're thankful. And we turn our hearts and our words to the tefillah. We invite you in body or in spirit, please, to rise.
Adonai tzefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, v'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha sela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. And please be seated as we continue. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shchinato l'tzion. Blessed are you whose divine presence is felt again in Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha v'lecha na'eh lehodot. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose goodness deserves thanks and praise.
All right, this is probably a new melody for most of you. It's by Abby Strauss, who I met at SLBC, but I think you'll pick it up, so please sing along.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We strive in prayer to strike the right balance between what's called keva and kavanah. Keva is our structure, the things that we come to expect in the prayer service. And kavanah is our heart's intent. And when we hear a new melody, when we have the opportunity to stretch spiritually, we disrupt in a good way that balance of keva and kavanah, and look for the right balance again when something stirs us. So we thank you for giving us another opportunity to think about what abundance of shalom would look and feel like. We'll take a few moments now, all of us, and with some intention, with some kavanah, with some heart's intention, we pray, we meditate in silence.
Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Alleluia. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimrama. Oh, say shalom. Bimrama. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May we all bring peace down, bring peace down. May we all bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav.
We turn joy and peace and silence and gathering together to our prayers for those who are in need, those who are struggling, those who, for weakness of body, for weakness of spirit, are in need of prayer, of courage, of patience, of kindness, of compassion. As we say, Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and give strength to those who are struggling. This evening, we're holding in our prayers Shena Esther bat Rochel, Chayanecha bat Riva Leah, Simon Brightman, Katriel Parachia Ben Herschel Laser Vishoshana, Sally Graff, Sarah Bat Avraham Visara, William Fawcett Jr., Alan Skirker, Laura Braun, Barbara DeCario, Miriam Bat Ella, Stephen Brent, Rini Feingold, Meredith Cabanis Ader, Reverend Gordon Webster, Mary Paikunka, Irving Manis, Ralph Bookbinder, Anna Markowitz, Masha Batsheva, Christine Yang, and Ziad Wabe. If there are others whom you would add to our list for Healing for Wholeness, please take a moment now, unmute yourself, share that name aloud with us, and then please, if you would, remute yourself after that.
The Hooper.
Lois Batonlik.
Fidel, Shelley, cousin Jerry.
Tom Peters. Amy Gasperi.
Shirley.
Spolky.
Jim Muscoda.
Shirley
Jack
Spolker.
Hughes. Jack Hughes.
Allison Rohr.
Phil Chufo. Where we have a long list.
Yeah.
David Altobelli.
Mark Friedman and Elizabeth Friedman.
Richard Jaffe, Marcia Scharfman, Judy Weiner.
Oh, Barry Levy Rubenstein.
All those who have listed their loved ones into the chat box as well, we're holding them in prayer along with all those whose names we perhaps don't know, but who are in need of prayer and of strength. As we turn now and we continue with the Mishabera.
אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikol habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for all who are in need for their health, their strength, and their wholeness to be restored. And we all of us join together and say, Amen. We'll ask everyone, please, just to take one more moment and to ensure that you are muted so that we can have Susan Rizzo introduce our guest speaker this evening, and so that we can all hear her fully.
Good evening, everyone. Very pleased to have in our midst, our virtual midst, Sasha Di Maria. She's our guest presenter tonight, and just on behalf of the Accessibility and Inclusion Committee, we're so grateful for her to have given us her time tonight. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a social worker at Jewish Family Service. As a special needs navigator, she works with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their parents and caregivers who are seeking information, resources, programming, and support. In addition, she is a resource manager in the Affordable Housing Program and manages JFS's helpline addressing community needs resulting from COVID-19. And we all know there are plenty of needs there. Prior to JFS, she worked in a variety of programs supporting children and families, including 15 years in the child welfare system. She and her husband live in Webster with their 2 children, one of whom has special needs. She also spends time, she's active in local politics. She enjoys reading, and she also spends time reluctantly supervising her children's virtual learning, which many of us can relate to. So with that, I will invite her to take center stage.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. I am grateful to hear I'm not the only parent out there struggling with virtual learning in the midst of this pandemic that some days feels like it will never end. I'm just going to share my screen. Can everybody see the slide? Great. All right. Well, thank you all so much for having me this evening. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of Jewish Family Services and in celebration of Jewish Disabilities Awareness, Accessibility, and Inclusion Month. I'm just going to speak for a few minutes tonight about JFS and what we are doing in our programming as it relates to individuals with special needs. As some of you may know, JFS has had some stops and starts along the way in terms of programming for those with special needs. And in the fall of 2019, JFS recommitted to this work by creating 2 new positions. The first is the Director of Accessibility and Inclusion, in which my friend and colleague Sharon Shafrir is the director. I know most of you are very familiar with Sharon. She is a wonderful, wonderful resource. Sharon, in her role as director, supports affiliated Jewish organizations in fostering inclusive environments. She works with a variety of different organizations across our community in assisting them in furthering their efforts for inclusion and accessibility for all individuals. She also works to identify and provide training for various agencies and organizations as needed. And in addition to that, Sharon does a magnificent job of really engaging staff at group homes and day programs and other organizations that are providing services to Jewish community members who have intellectual and developmental disabilities to ensure that the non-Jewish staff have some understanding of Jewish traditions and culture and religion so they can better support those individuals who are benefiting from their programming. And as a partner to Sharon, as Susan mentioned, I'm the special needs navigator. In our definition at JFS, we include special needs is more than intellectual and developmental disabilities. We include a variety of needs, most notably mental health. We certainly recognize that mental health services and supports are much needed in our community and really across the board. So we include that under our large umbrella of special needs. In my role, I work directly with families and with individuals, with caregivers to provide resources, referrals, and support. So I have families who contact me who are looking for some sort of program in the community. They have an individual in their family who they believe would benefit from additional service. And I work with them to identify what resources are available out in the community to ensure that the individual is getting as much support as is available to them. Currently, we are offering a parent mindfulness group that is specifically working with parents and caregivers of children with special needs. It's a 5-week program that just started at the beginning of February. It is our first, in this iteration of our special needs program at JFS, it's our first really foray into providing support directly to families ourselves, as opposed to referring them out to other programs. We started this group, we sent out flyers and information, not knowing what what kind of response we would get. And we were thrilled at the overwhelming number of parents and caregivers who reached out to us looking for support and interested in this group. So much so that we are exploring adding a second group later in the spring so that we can continue to provide adequate support to parents. And also through those parents who have already reached out to us, we're exploring other parent and caregiver needs for support for other skill developments and skills and other concerns that parents and caregivers may have, whether that's for education for themselves as parents or for support and an opportunity to connect with peers who are also experiencing the joy and challenges of parenting a child with special needs. I also want to point out that when I say child, it does not necessarily mean minor child. We certainly have parents who have adult children who are either in the home, some are adult children who are in a group home or other program, and those parents absolutely benefit from support and services as well. To further support our special needs program at JFS, we have the JFS Accessibility and Inclusion Advisory Council. The mission of this council is to help us ensure that all members of the Jewish community have an equal opportunity to benefit from the various services that this community has to offer, whether that's religious or cultural, social, recreational. We want to make sure that we do our best to ensure that everyone can reap the benefits of those programs. The membership currently of the Advisory Council are Jewish individuals in our community whose personal and or professional experience helps to develop and implement various aspects of an inclusion initiative, whether it's through working with programs at the JCC, working with schools, or a variety of other providers in our community. We are very fortunate to have a number of individuals who are actively participating in the Advisory Council and bring their expertise and are open about sharing it with the group. It's a fantastic resource for us as well as for the community at large. In addition, though, to the council, we also always look to involve the greater community. We value input from individuals within the community to formulate our vision as we continue to grow our programming around providing services within the special needs community. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to share contact information for myself and Sharon and Jenny Schaff, who's our CEO. And we certainly value your input. So anyone who is interested in sharing suggestions or recommendations or thoughts, we welcome you to do so anytime. So that's a brief synopsis of what we offer in terms of special needs programming. I wanted to take just a minute to just remind everyone of some other programs that JFS has to offer. We have community programs that I'm sure most of you are familiar with, the Brighton Food Cupboard and Pencils and Paper, who provide much needed services to vulnerable members of our community across Monroe County. In addition to those programs, some other programs you may not be as familiar with. We provide case management services for older adults who are hoping to age in their home and need additional support to do so, whether that's some service coordination, someone to assist in communication between the older adult and their family with their medical providers. We also provide counseling services, and we have been very fortunate that our counselors adapted very quickly under the change of circumstances with COVID-19 and are able to provide services virtually, both to individuals as well as to groups. And then JFS has been very adaptive in terms of responding to the needs that were developed as a result of COVID-19. We have a few new programs that that started way back in March, which feels like yesterday and an eternity ago all at the same time. We have Groceries to Go, which is a program that we market toward vulnerable adults, folks who cannot safely go to the grocery store either because of their age or because they have some sort of higher risk for COVID. We have volunteers who collect their lists and go grocery shopping, and we have contact-free delivery that they will leave groceries on the person's porch or in their doorway. we developed a friendly caller program in hopes of really reaching some of those isolated individuals who were not having opportunities to connect with others by, again, through volunteers, identifying a friendly caller who touches base with them, sometimes weekly, sometimes more or less, depending on the person's needs, just to check in with them, chat, make sure they're doing okay, and be another friendly voice and listening ear on the other end of the phone line. And finally, we implemented a community-wide helpline that provides resources to anyone in the community who has a need, a question, a concern, and they're not sure where to go. They call the helpline. If JFS doesn't have a program that can meet those needs, we're able to refer those individuals to other programs and services in the larger community to provide some support. As I mentioned, here's some contact information for more information about Jewish Family Services. The first is our website, also the email addresses for Jenny Schaff, our CEO, my colleague Sharon Shafir, and myself. And in closing, I would just like to say that at JFS, we understand that there can be sometimes a stigma associated with reaching out to a social service agency for support. And certainly in the past year, we have seen an increase in individuals and families reaching out who, due to the circumstances of COVID-19, have found themselves in a very precarious position and are really seeking these support and services within our community. JFS is certainly here for everyone, but we want to pay specific attention to the needs of the Jewish community and make sure that we are responding to those needs as well. And just to send a message to all of you that JFS is here to partner with you and to provide whatever support we can to you and to your families. I will be sticking around for the rest of the service, and if there are questions or any thoughts, I believe there will be an opportunity to share those once the services are over this evening. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Sasha. We're so grateful for you and for all of your colleagues, and you know, want to commend and applaud, and we should hold you also in our Mishaberach prayers, right, for all the services. You know, ordinarily we include in our prayers all those who are serving in the capacity in which you and your colleagues are. So I want to underscore that you are very warmly held in our prayers, and also to share with all of you who are here this evening. And Sasha gave an incredible, you know, in 10 minutes, right? I'm sure she could have gone longer, but in 10 minutes, an incredible comprehensive look at what is offered through Jewish Family Services, and also bears noting that their services are confidential. Right, that their services are confidential, and as needs have changed over this last year so acutely for so many, please know that along with the extraordinary services that they offer, they are also extraordinary with confidentiality as well. So we know that the Jewish community is small, but we hope in this case small in a good way, and that you will turn to them if you are in need, or you know others who are in need as well. And Sasha, we thank you. And again, Sasha will be staying at the end of services. Lindsay Hagan will help for those, you know, ordinarily we would have an ONEG, right? And people would be drawn to you, I'm sure, to ask you questions. And so we're hoping to do that in a more intimate way, and offer a chance for people to move into a breakout room if they have any additional questions for Sasha, and any of the members of the committee who can join as well. So you can just let us know in the chat box. Lindsay will move you into a breakout room after that. And certainly Sasha just gave you all the information as well. Thank you. Many thanks. And thanks to all the committee members who have helped put together this whole program this month to broaden what you know, what the offerings are in Rochester at such a critical time. Join us, please, as we continue. We'll turn to our concluding prayers to the Aleinu, and ask you, please, in body or in spirit, to join us as we rise and continue in prayer.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצב ראשית, שהוא נוטש, שלא עשנו כגויי הרע ארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn our thoughts now to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days and those who died this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. This evening, this Shabbat, we are holding in our memories and our prayers the recent passing of Leah Bell, mother of Rochelle Bell, and Ernie Zlachauer, cousin of Ellie Krieger. Tonight marks the yahrzeit and anniversary of passing for Lester Abelman, Abraham Block, Walter Braun, Ernest Brownell Sr., Lee Brownstein, Hyman Kressoff, Frida Dorf, Sheldon Drexler, Lillian Dubin, Gertrude Anna Fink, Richard Frankel, Annette Gans, Dorothy Gillis, Mary H. Ginsburg, Sally Gordon, Leonard Greenberg, Mike Greenberg, Harriet Grudensky, Gabriel Harris, Harvey Hiller, Morris Kaiser, Esther Cantor, Chaya Kansenberg, Cheryl Letterman, Elise Leston, Florence Levenberg, Sydney Loeb, Ronan Lewis, Mildred Montrose, Rose Pearlstein, Dorothy Rosen, Hannah Seidel, Gail Saunders, Norman Schifrin, Jane Schwartz, Irvin Silton, Michael Silver, Esther Steinberg, Ita Weingarten, Nathan Weiser, Goldie Wolkoff, Evelyn Yates, Gussie Lassman Zand, and Joseph Zatzkin. If there are others whom you would add to either list or names better spoken aloud by you, please would you unmute yourself for a moment and share that name aloud with us.
Richard Friedman.
Claudia Sennett Mack.
Don Dresser.
Should be Timothy Funk.
Cousin Timothy Funk.
As you take a moment to remute yourself, please, we say, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for our blessing as we continue together with the Mourners Kaddish. Yit Gadal V'Yit Kadash Shmei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Yirutei V'Yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon U'Vyomechon U'V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala U'Bizman Kariv V'Imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Umei Umaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel b'imru. Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved, as we all of us join together in saying, Amen. And please be seated. Let me share with you, please, some announcements. First, our thanks to both Sasha DiMaria for speaking this evening and sharing all of her wisdom with us and her expertise and the services of JFS with us this evening. To Leah Sherman, as always, warmest and deepest thanks for lifting us and lifting and stretching us in the best ways. We always are grateful. And we want to remind you tomorrow morning that we have Torah study at 9:15 and Shabbat morning services. We have one of our Shabbat worshipers this evening who is going to be chanting Torah tomorrow morning. So come and be with us to hear some words of Torah and to do some study as well. No religious school on Sunday, and this we know. And we have, we need a drum roll, please. I'll do one of these because I'm actually at my kitchen table. We will have our Latka and Hamantashen debate, not to be missed, at 5 p.m. If you've never been there for that event, you have not seen anything quite like it. We have Keith, who will be moderating, and we have professors Jeremy Sarakin and Nora Rubel and their supports, who will be debating the virtues of the Latka versus the Hamantash. Please join us at 5 p.m. And Jewish life from the perspective of an Orthodox Jew with visual impairments. That session will continue. Our learning continues in this month at 7 p.m. on Sunday. Adult education, the cantor will be teaching Step into Shushantown, a true Purim story, on Monday evening at 7 p.m. And then that really gets all of our Purim festivities started with everything good and fun and interesting and joyous to celebrate on Thursday, with Make and Shake Purim crafts for all ages at 5:15, followed by our Megillah reading at 5:45, short, very short, and then our Purim spiel at 6 p.m. on Thursday evening. Please be sure to join us next Friday night when we have our final set of speakers, Tori Madway and Joel Shamaskin, who will talk about life with hidden disabilities, unmasked, as it were, fitting in this time in which we are looking at Purim. And on Monday, March 1st, we have our Racism and Health Disparities series continuing with our guest speaker, Melanie Funchess, who is going to be speaking about mental health and racial inequities. And I think we have also some muzzle talks for Roseanne Krauss on the birth of her grandchild, Maven Morrissey Lumen to Nate Lumen and Marielle Lumen on January 13th. And also for those of you who have teens in 10th through 12th grade, please look at our website to find information about Journey for Identity that's run through the Federation, a wonderful opportunity to do some learning about Israel and Israeli Judaism, American Judaism, and for our teens to have some exchange time with them as well. It's an incredible opportunity. One thing that I did miss, by the way, there is on Sunday also, speaking of race, a listening and acting and healing opportunity. You can find that information and contact Sandy Mitzner. And there are two different opportunities, both Sunday, February 28th, the Sunday from 4 to 5:30, you have to RSVP, and then Sunday, March 14th as well. There's information about all of that on our website. Did I miss anything? Any announcements that I should know about from you? Any joys? Please, yes, Monica.
Thank you. I would just like to announce that our annual personal hygiene kit making session will begin next week. Thank you to Joyce and Bobby and Mary for pulling this all together. It's a National Council of Jewish Women's project, and we can virtually provide for the needs of women in our area. Please go to the website, scroll all the way to the end, and you can shop online and then also help put these kits together in your own home. So please visit the website, and we thank you in advance for that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. As needs continue, right? We're another opportunity. Okay, let us continue as we turn to Motzi. Show us your showbreads, if you will. Should I stop? I'll stop the share quickly. I know the hour's late, but do any of you have chalot that you want to show us, that you're dying to show us your wares? We see some, yes. Okay, good. Leah, will you help us as we continue with Motzi, and forward we go, giving thanks for that which nourishes and sustains us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Amen and b'te'avon. Our closing song this evening, O Yavo Shalom Aleinu, peace will surely come to us, to all we pray. We hope, we work toward that day. Join us, please, in song as we conclude.
shalom aleinu. Odebo shalom aleinu. Odebo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Odebo shalom aleinu. Odebo shalom aleinu. Odebo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. We wish you good health, a good week ahead, and we will unmute everybody. Remind you that if you want to move into the breakout room, just to let Lindsay know by way of the chat. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Try again.
There we go.
There we go.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you again, Sasha. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you,
Thanks
Sasha.
so much,
Thank you, Leah.
everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you both. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Leah. It was gorgeous.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Leah, it was beautiful. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you.
And thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom,
shalom.
everybody.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Bye-bye.
Shalom.
We going? Some more?
Have a good week, everybody. Leah, thank you. Thank you.
It's great to see you, Sharon. Shabbat shalom. And I love the haircut. It's great.
Thank you. Thanks, honey.
So if anybody has any questions for Sasha, they can ask them now if they have any questions.
Well, I started the breakout room process like we talked about, so.
Okay.
Sasha, thank you. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Is anybody in there, Lindsay?
Carla and Susan.
Okay, I'll go in there if you want. I mean, if you can get me in there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi Till.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Lindsay, if I sign out, am I going to end the call?
As long as if you just leave the meeting, do you have the option to do that?
I don't.
Can you make me?
I'm going to make you host.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, now you should have the option. Lauren, you're muted.
We should ask Sasha to join our synagogue. Is she Jewish?
I don't know.
I'll ask Sharon. That would be good.
Sure.
Well, thanks. What are you doing this weekend?